Hello guys, welcome back again to my channel, Sugilanan channel, the unveiling story and sparking joy. So we'll have another topic to be discussed today and it would be entitled Writing Formulas of Inorganic Compound. So please, if hindi pa kayo nakakapag-subscribe ng aking channel, please click the subscription button. Sugilanan channel, the unveiling story and sparking joy. Well, I need your time for on almost for just only a few minutes because it would take only a short video. So we have only few slides only to be done to be tackled this day. And once again, I am your presenter. I am Rafael P. Padla Inson. Yes, you heard right. We will be discussing about the formula writing or writing formulas of inorganic compound. For now, we have to consider and focus only for inorganic compound. When you say inorganic compound, those are the study of all elements except carbon. So we're trying to connect and interact, react the elements from metal to non-metal. Okay? And of course, this is the flow of our lecture today. So we have the objective at the end of this lesson. You should be able to, of course, the first one, you have only the three objectives for today. So that's why you have only a few slides. And the first one is write the formulas of inorganic compounds based on the oxidation numbers of cations and anions. Oxidation numbers is those are the charges of cations and ions that we can see in the superscript of every element, in an ion or atomic ions. And the second objective is write the formula of inorganic compound given its name. So meaning to say, we will be practicing, we will be given a name of a compound, and we're trying to write the formula out of that one. And the third one is write the name of inorganic compound given its formula. So it's an opposite. So by this time, we have the formula, but we have to predict what's the name of that certain formula. Okay, so let's begin with this slide or the definition of chemical formula. Actually, when we say chemical formula, that is a way of expressing information about the proportions of atoms that constitute a particular chemical compound. So using single line of chemical elements, symbols, numbers, and sometimes also other symbols such as parentheses, dash, brackets, commas, and plus and minus signs, then those are the characters that we need to use in writing the chemical formula. As what we have been mentioned that chemical formula is the language of chemistry because we can only express through our experimentations, etc., through the chemical formula. And apart from that, a chemical formula will have a short review about this vocabulary or terminology, which is the element. So we have been discussed in the previous lecture that element is represented by a symbol. Okay, so it should be capital letter. If there are two letters in each in this element symbol of an element, it should be capital letter followed by small letter. If you have only one letter, it should be capital letter. Well, for the compounds, as we have been also mentioning last time, those are the substances represented by chemical formula. So we have ionic compounds and covalent compounds. As a review again, when we say ionic compound, those are the elements combined with each other by transferring of electrons from one to the other or from the metal to non-metal. So actually it is easy to determine a certain compound if it is a unique if it is a combination of metals and non-metals. While for the covalent compounds is formed by sharing of electrons and it's actually combination of both non-metals. So we'll have to give an emphasis with that for the next slide. And of course, as we are trying to proceed, so yes, this is the objective number one. And actually, sorry for putting this objective number one because this is actually the content of this topic is all from objective number one to two and until three. But to give you an emphasis, the objective number one as a review is how to write a chemical formula of inorganic compounds based on the oxidation numbers of cations and anions. So actually, oxidation numbers is we could predict it if we have the periodic tables is in our hand, and of course we have a list of common cations and anions that you can see in the next future or next slide. But before that, we'll have to review again what is atoms and ions. So comparing an atom, atoms are electrically neutral, no? Because there is the same number of protons and electrons for a certain atom. So as I said, we could really determine if an element or a certain species is an atom or neutral if we don't have any charges or charge in the upper right corner or in the superscript. And for the ions, ions are forms or group of atoms with with a charge. That certain charge could either be positive or negative. So we'll have to know if it is positive and negative also. They have different numbers of protons and electrons, of course, ions. And only electrons can move, and ions are made by gaining or losing electrons, no? So actually the protons will not or never be changed, only the electrons. When it would happen? Well, during the chemical reaction, rearrangement, or combination, etc. Yes, um, for atoms and ions, we will trying to say it is an ion if it has a negative charge. So an ion if there is a negative charge on its upper right corner. And what is happening during an ions or a negative ion? It has gained electrons. So the negative charge pertaining to the number of electrons that it has been gained. So meaning to say if how many numbers of electron that you have been gained, so that's only the also the corresponding charge of the electrons or an ion. So actually mga anions are mga non-metals because their characteristic, their identity, their behavior is just only to gain electrons, no, only the non-metals. So that is their properties, and it can never be um, interchanged with the properties of the metal. So take note again, who are those species that would try to form an ion? Yes, you are correct. Only the non-metals who would try to form an ions because their characteristic is just to accept electrons, to gain electron. Charge is written as a superscript on the right, no, in the upper right corner. Just like for example the floor of F minus 1, so the charge is negative because that is an ion, meaning to say this fluorine receive gain one electron, that's why nasa excess the negative charge which is 1 has gained one electron. The name of that fluorine changed the suffix ine with ide, so it's now ending as fluoride, no, instead of using fluorine, so the change the suffix ine, the three letters in the suffix of the fluorine, which is ine, change with ide. So that's a fluoride. And of course, for oxygen, so meaning to say there are negative 2 for oxygen, it gained 2 electrons as well. So, and it named as an oxide, no? Upon gaining electrons. In the opposite for the anion, we have the cation, right? So for the cation, it's a positive ion. So meaning to say, it formed by losing electron. So if a certain species lose electron, the number of electrons that has been lost for a certain species, that's also the numbers of the charge of the corresponding ion that it would be placed in the superscript, no? Say for example more protons, it meaning to say that there are more protons than the electron because electron has been lost. And of course, who are those species that probably would form a cations or positively charged? Remember this, students, only the metals can lose electrons, and also their tendency is to form cation, no? That is their identity, their characteristic. Mhm. They will not gain electron, the metals, but rather they will lose electron. That is their properties. And of course, say for example, this K positive one is what we call mm, cation, and Ca positive is cation because their charge is positive too. So say calcium, there are two electrons that lost in the calcium lose. That's why it would form a 2 plus, meaning say nag-exist siyang duha ka buok proton. So take note that potassium ion has lost one electron and the calcium ion has lost two electrons. We'll try to determine and learn in predicting those species that would form either cations or an ion. Remember, if this is your periodic table, and mm, by reading the periodic table from top to bottom, I mentioned that already in you guys during our previous lesson that the group 1A, because in American system, it would American system, IUPAC system, we have to read the periodic table based on their group 1A, 2A, 3A, until 8A. The number 1 to 18 is American system yun. So in group 1A, those elements that belong to group 1A, so their characteristic is to lose electron. So meaning to say, dili sila pwede manghatag og duha ka electrons, three electrons or more electrons. Specifically, definitely only one electron. So try to familiarize and memorize those elements na belong sa group 1AK. Ngano, when they lose electron, only one ang ilang i-lose, no? And they would form positively charged upon losing the electron. So who are those elements that belongs to group 1? So actually, um, hydrogen is being placed there. And lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, okay? So hindi ka makakakita ng mga lithium na 2 plus ang charge, sodium na 2 plus. No, it's a big no. You have to consider with that one because why one? Because they belong to group 1 and their characteristic is just only to lose one electron, exactly one electron. And group 2A, so that's why they belong to group 2A because their tendency is to lose two electrons. So and upon losing two electrons, they form positively charged, which is also two positively charged. Ano ganing duha? Because the excess of two protons, no? Ang charge sa protons is duha, ang charge sa electron, ang protons positive, charge sa electrons negative. Ang lose yung electron nga duha, so nasa sobra nga duha ka buok nga proton. That's why 2 plus. And memorize as well this group 2 species or elements, and they are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, and barium. Okay, and yeah, we have to skip in the middle because in reading the periodic table based in the IUPAC system, we label at 1A, 2A, and 3A. So in the 3A, this color, if you have seen this one, kaning mga 3A here, so they belong to the boron, starting from the boron family, no, the boron family. So these are the 3A, no, and loses three electrons to form 3 plus ions. Actually, the 3A are some of the member are metalloids. No, they tend to form what they call this one. Okay, so that's it. And another boron, aluminum, gallium. So they tend to lose electron. They're metalloid. And group 4A, though they lose 4 electrons or gain 4 electrons, well, starting from group 4A, their characteristic is considered as a pure nonmetal, so their tendency is to gain electron. So neither group 4A elements necessarily from ions they tend to share. But actually, in the group 4A, there are 75% of their non-metallic characters, so that's why they sometimes form A or to gain electrons. But in group 5A, gain 3 electrons because to form negative ions, no, nitride, phosphide, etc. So remember that one. If you would encounter these elements, well, they gained electrons. And for phosphide and arsenide, and group 6A, Yes, gain to electron to form ions. Dalawa lang din ang kaya nilang i-gains ng mga electrons ng mga oxygen family. Okay? And they form oxide, sulfide, etc. Kaya nila i-accommodate with themselves upon um, reacting or binding with another element. So they should gain electron to in order for them to interact with their other elements and become stable as well. Group 7A, their tendency is to gain one electron. So who are this group 7A? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, acid. So memorize this one, iodide. Kasi their tendency is just only to accept to gain one electron. Take note ha, hindi sila pwedeng mag-gain ng electron more than one. It should exactly one. You cannot experience nga BR2 minus, BR3 minus. No, it's a big no because that's the rule in predicting. And in the group 8A, the noble gas, since they are stable noble gas, do not form ions, so they don't need losing or gaining electrons because, as I said, they are very stable um, atoms. They could survive in the world without the need of others. They exist in the world without the help of others. And the group B elements, these are the transition metals, no? And have more than one possible oxidation state. Meaning to say, oxidation state, their charges or they can able to lose or gain electron. So for example, the iron night, 2 plus and 3 plus, no? In losing electrons. Group B elements, note that we have to use Roman numerals if the number of their oxidation states. So for example, nga, iron 2, meaning to say 2 electrons has been lost, Roman numeral 2. Roman numeral 3, meaning to say 3 electrons has been lost. So those are the characteristic of the B metals, no? That's why the name of those 2 and 3 is ferrous and ferric. Itong lesser number of oxidation state ferrous, higher number is ferric. And this is the list of common ions, cations, and anions. I will give you a task later for you as to practice a worksheets and try to connect between the cations and anions and try to learn how to write the formula as well. So I have also a clear picture about this one in my personal copies. I will send you and let you take the picture in during my class. Of course, rules when writing the formula. There are certain rules to write the formula because this is conventional. No, whatever we applied here in the Philippines, it would follow in the next or other country as well. Conventional rules. So the first rule is, of course, you have to the cations is written first, followed by the anion. That is first. Sorry for the letter T. I forget to put. So meaning to say, it can never be interchanged. So for example, writing the anion first, then followed by the cation. No, it should be cations, then an ion. And the third rule is, well, write the formulas for the cations and anions, including the charge. So upon knowing what element is that, species is that, then you have to look for the table, what should be their possible cations or their possible charge, either cations or anions. And upon knowing that, example, I'll give you aluminum oxide, the name. Note the two-word name, aluminum and oxide. So in the next lesson, no, I will teach you how to name a chemical formula. But for now, the most important is how to write the formula. Later na ng naming because it would follow easier if you know how to write the formula. So for example, we have two names here, the aluminum, two elements involved in here, the aluminum and oxygen, of course, aluminum oxide, that's the combination. So in my research, say for example, lists of common cation and ion, I found out that the charge of the aluminum is positive 3, and of course, the oxygen or oxide is negative 2 based on the table where did I get this charge nga positive 3 for aluminum and negative 2 for oxygen in the table of cation and ion which I will provide you later. So if you have now the charge of the cation and an ion, the next is to check if the charges are balanced. So, for example, how to check if the charges are balanced? Of course, positive 3 and negative 2 is not balanced, no? If you try to add it on, positive 3 plus 2, it would have na ay sum ng positive 1, so it will not get 0. When can we say nga balance na siya if 0 siya? If, say for example, positive 3 and negative 3. So their sum of their charges is 0, so that should be a balance. If in case nga dili siya balance, then we have to apply this rule. Okay? Sorry for my face there. Rules in writing, the fourth is balance charge if necessary using subscript. So subscript is the one that is written below and then after this chemical symbol. So we have to use parentheses if you need more than or polyatomic ion. Use crisscross method to balance the subscript. Okay, I will teach you how to write the formula using crisscross methods. Upon knowing that the chemical symbol or the oxidation name state of aluminum is positive 3 and oxygen is negative 2, then using crisscross method, whatever would be the charge of the cation will become the subscript, from superscript mahimong subscript of your anion and vice versa. So transfer here. So do not follow the sign nga positive or negative, just only the magnitude, the number. So and on the other hand, then the negative 2, so you transfer the charge, the number of 2. So do not follow the sign nga negative 2. It's only the 2 numbers. So that's what we call the crisscross method. So exactly. Next, upon writing the crisscross method and the final rewrite, we have to rewrite this answer to the next one. Oh. So, since na-transfer mo na sa subscript yung mga superscript nila, upon rewriting, this would be the new chemical formula, Al2O3, right? I know that you are intelligent. Yes, I know that you're following with my lecture. So Al2 because the subscript nga to that's taken from the negative 2 and then O3 because the subscript nga 3 taken from the positive 3. It's just a crisscross. Nag-interchange lang sila. So upon checking that, knowing that you are confident enough that your formula written in that final answer is correct, you have to do that checking. Okay? So it would be confident nga mag-checking tayo. So the total charge for the aluminum on the left side, if you have seen this one, man tong, okay, where is that one? This one, kani, if the total charge niya sa aluminum, di ba, positive 3, this positive 3, this is the positive 3, and then i-times nimo na siya sa 2 na subscript, times 2, positivity times 2 is positive 6. And the next one, total charge, negative charge, so negative 2, so this one, rewrite, and then times 3, that is, negative 2 times 3 is 6, so positive 6 plus negative 6 is 0. Meaning to say, this formula is correct because their charge, sum of their charges is 0, no? So you are really sure that your formula is correct. Okay? So that's it. Next one. Say for example, more example, okay? More example. I'm just trying to repeat the one, no? Okay, more example. So next is the color blue barium nitrate. That's the name. So how to write the formula of the barium nitrate? Well, the first is write the formulas for the cations and anion. Saan natin makikita ang formula na yan? Doon sa table na ibibigay ko sa inyo. List of table of cations and anion. Number 2, for example, sa barium, munang charge sa barium, 2 plus. And of course, sa nitrate, NO3 minus. So that's they're based on the table projected, that is the chemical symbol. Okay? So take note that the charge of the barium is positive 2, and then nitrate is negative 1. So meaning to say, their charge is not balanced. So that's why we have to balance the charge if necessary using subscript. Use parentheses if you need more than one of a polyatomic ion. The one that we mentioned, the polyatomic ion, if because when we consider it polyatomic ion, if elements involved in an ion is two or more, ang NO3, for example, kaning NO3, ano naman to NO3? So for example, kaning is polyatomic an ion because of the nitrogen and oxygen, two or more man, that's poly. So, upon checking that out, hmm, so ano siya pag kanang erase all, okay, erase all na siya. So, moto siya, if the charge is not balanced, we have to use the crisscross method. Crisscross method. Sana yung crisscross method? Eraser. Okay, eraser. Continue. Yan. Sorry for this inconvenience, no? It's my first time to write this, mm, this one. So take note that the total charge of positive to barium is positive to, upon crisscross, we have 1 here, kay 1 man ang dinha sa nitrate ng negative 1, that's why times 1. And then the total charge of negative, sa negative charge is negative 1 man siya, then yung substitute 2 times 2 is negative 2. So their sum of their charges is 0. Okay? So eraser. So that's it. Next example, aluminum sulfate. Let's go directly now. What is the formula of ammonium? Ammonium rather. Ammonium is in its 4, and then sulfate, ang charge sa ammonium in its 4 na ay positive. Saan natin makikita yan? Sa table. Sulfate, this is the formula of sulfate, is SO4 minus 2. Saan makikita yan? Sa table. Okay? You have to learn how to read the table. So, ano bang charge sa SO4 sulfate sa anion negative 2, sa ammonium positive? Dili sila balance. That's why we have to do the crisscross method. So crisscross, balhin dito sa PCAS, crisscross to, and then understood na siya nga na 1 sa sulfate. So that's why the formula is NH4 2 and SO4. No, understood na siya na parenthesis 1. But according to the algebraic rule, if it is 1, no need to write the 1. Okay? Checking. So what's the charge of in total positive charge? Positive 1, then I 2. That's why positive 2. Negative charge, negative 2. And then 1 din ang subscript. So that's why negative 2. So 0 siya. Iron chloride. So this is iron chloride. Charge ang iron is Fe3 plus, yung charge is positive 3, ang sa chloride is negative 1. Balance ba or hindi? Hindi, because positive 3 is far away from negative 1. So hindi sila balance. So pag hindi balance, do the crisscross method. Okay? Or this not balance, so crisscross method, then crisscross, so FeCl3. It's the final answer, FeCl3. Checking Fe3 plus times 1, kaya naman na siya 1 upon crisscross, equals 3. And then sa negative charge, negative 1 times 3 nga nasa baba equals 0. Aluminum sulfate, aluminum, then a sulfide rather. So what is their charge? Positive 3, negative 2. So dili balance. So therefore, you have to use the crisscross method. How to write the crisscross method? Just opposite. Crisscross ang charge sa superscript sa anion, mabahin sa subscript. Sa cation nga superscript na yung sa subscript. So the answer is Al2S3. And that is their answer. Okay? More example, magnesium carbonate. And the charge for the carbonate is actually negative 2 man yan. Bakit carbonate? Carbonate. Something wrong with the carbonate, no? Actually, MgCO3 minus 2 man yung carbonate. Instead of carbonate is negative. So take note na meron siyang negative 2 din here, negative 2. So therefore, the answer should be Mg2CO3 2. So this should be the correct answer, Mg parenthesis 2, and then CO3, mayroon siyang 2 dito. So, ma-cancel out mo na kaya ma-divide mo siya itself ito. Cancel out. So, that's why ang final answer should be MgCO3. Kaning naka-yellow. So, the final answer should be MgCO3. Unang sa answer, no? So, we'll have to consider that one. Hindi ako marunong magbura nga eh. Okay. So that's why if you try to sorry for that inconvenience. But the answer is MgO3. Next one, zinc hydroxide. Zinc hydroxide. Take note, ang polyatomic ion, you have to put that inside the parentheses before ka mag-crisscross. Okay? Kasi para you will not confuse or not balance. Okay? So, crisscross, so the answer is zinc hydroxide. Okay? That's the answer. Aluminum, dami kong example pala dito na nailagay. Aluminum phosphate, o ito. Charge is positive sa aluminum, then sa phosphate, negative 3, balance man sila. So, no need to use our balance, to use crisscross, no? So, what you will do, we have a worksheets for formula writing. So, meron tayong a 4-column na table, name of this name, first column, names, in here, mga names, check. And then hey, positive ion, name sapagkat ion, and then hey, negative ion, names and ion. Just combine, do the crisscross method, and this is the final answer. So how many ions or species I have here? I think we have 20 different species. Okay? So 20 sila from 1 to 20. So what you will do is to answer that one as your homework. And yes, napakadali lang i-write ang formula. And what you will need to do now is to retain it in your memory and practice it until you will get the mastery level. Okay, so I think I will not hold you longer. It's because the lesson for today is very easy, easy and understandable. So this is your presenter, and would like to say thank you very much for listening, and wait for the next video for the naming of chemical compound. Okay, so next video, it's since we're done with the formula writing, it's more on naming, how to name given its formula. Okay, it's an opposite for this one. Bibigyan kayo ng formula, then i-name nyo kung anong pangalan ng mga chemicals na yon. Okay, because this will really applicable in your next topic or journey in the chemistry subject. So please support my channel, Sugilanan channel, subscribe, and always wait for my next video to be uploaded. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.